You made other people feel uncomfortable. That was something I wasn't necessarily cool with.
Wow.
Tonight, they're ready to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
You lie about different things to different women.
Strap in and turn up. This season's reunion special is going to be a little bit different. I tested positive for COVID-19. I'm feeling healthy and strong, but out of an abundance of caution, don't be thinking this is like when the substitute teacher fills in. Miss Tanika Ray, she don't play. I'll be resting up and watching the show with the rest of you.
I'm your host, Tanika Ray. Tonight, we're spilling the tea on all the romance and drama that played out in front of the cameras, as well as what happened when the cameras weren't rolling, which is a lot. For the first time in Ready to Love history, two sexy singles were dropped into the middle of the mix. But they both had very different levels of success.
I will say, hallelujah.
Hallelujah!
Well,
Why are you praising the Lord?
well, first of all, you should always praise the Lord. I was leading with my heart, despite what the Negro Inquisition was, where I was confronted by the friends. I wasn't trying to be in a relationship just to say, hey, I made it to the end. It's still about what I want at the end of the day. And you can't compromise what you want, because if you do that, then you're gonna end up being a jerk down the road.
You seem really clear you weren't enjoying yourself.
Yeah, I wasn't.
That's going to take me to Miss Sabrina down here, because y'all had a connection. Sabrina, what does that make you feel like that he said there was no joy?
I think joy in the process.
think it. Again, I want to apologize to you for that day. My friends, they don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They think that there's a man that's pursuing me, coming to meet my friends, and because he didn't have, I guess, the right answers, they went in on him.
They went in.
Things went a little better for Sidney, who found connections with Phil and Frank. Was that it?
Yeah.
Phil and I thought it was more than that, but maybe I was wrong. All right, let's take a look. Tell me about what it was like when you first saw Phil and you kind of knew immediately that he was somebody you wanted to pursue, yeah?
Everyone else was kind of running up to me, like getting to know me kind of quickly. Instantly, I was attracted to him.
You said that she was different. What made her so different?
I mean, just the conversations that we had. When I first saw, you put an image of somebody in your head, like of who they are. And then just talking to her was, just changed my whole entire mentality about it.
But you did sort of have your heart split between Phil and Frank. How much of this connection made you kind of go a little further towards that direction?
As I always say, Frank and I are going to be besties. It was definitely difficult. I didn't make my mind up until the very end.
Are we dating exclusively Sidney and Phil?
I'm dating this woman exclusive.
Are we talking about engagement, these private moments?
Oh my gosh, that word keeps popping up.
Why does it make you uncomfortable? You both kind of shifted.
I'm not uncomfortable about it at all.
That's the whole point of dating with intention. On this journey, I don't need help getting a girlfriend. You're hoping to find somebody who you can spend your life with. And at the end of the day, that's what we're here for.
I wish the best. The minute she stepped onto the scene, Camille made her presence known with her animated personality, lots of facial expressions that seemed to have no bounds, except for the ones she placed around Cornelius, like a fort.
Be careful, you know, you're already gonna bring it.
We went to a pool party.
You don't remember that?
Olivia was there.
Who was Olivia?
She looks like me.
She looks like you?
Towards the end of the pool party, she made her appearance. They could have met Shay Shay too. Everyone has many personalities, but for me, I'm able to name them. Olivia is the emotional one, and Shay Shay is the firecracker. Olivia and Shay Shay are very real, and if they make an appearance, I definitely have to explain why they made their appearance. As long as I have my meds, I'm good. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay, my first question is, who's here today, Camille? Is this Camille, Shay Shay, or Olivia? I just want to know what I'm dealing with.
This is Camille. I've been to therapy. They are no longer in existence. Pray them away.
You guys are very booed up, I have to say. What about moving in with each other? Has that happened?
No.
No.
Why would they move in together?
Give it one more month and he'll be in her house.
It didn't seem like you were down with the slow process during the show.
Right. I definitely came into this process knowing exactly what I wanted.
Is that typically how you date? You hone in, that's the guy?
So it doesn't necessarily look like that, because it's definitely giving crazy, possessive, obsessive, all of that.
Just a little bit.
Right. Editing does what editing does too.
It ain't but so much editing in the world.
It wasn't a filter, those faces you made.
Theater major. Am I not entertaining?
I am very. Am I not?
Let me bring things over here. Anybody have any comments on how far they've come? Camille may have been a little bit possessive during the show.
She was not. I'm not owning that. I'm a very sarcastic individual. People don't get it.
All right, cool. Thank you so much, Camille. I appreciate the clarity on that.
What they do is their business.
Well, it's time to take a break. There's more of the reunion after this.
She didn't address that part.
What?
What she said about with the women, she is it's only so much editing can do. She's so aggressive. She's very aggressive with the females as well. It's only so much editing can do. That does not stop who you truly are. You are
Keep it
aggressive.
classy.
Too aggressive.
Keep it classy.
Juggling multiple connections in this process can be quite challenging. In the case of our Army vet, juggling one too many became a major pain.
Was this first date ever?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, unfortunately, Shiloh couldn't be here today.
There was a lot that was going through my mind, my emotions.
How would you have wished you had delivered the message to Carrie?
If I could do it all over again, you know, I would say.
That was beautiful.
That was really
That was beautiful.
It's heartfelt.
That was.
And Tyrone delivered it the best way he could in that moment. And like he said, it isn't an easy process, especially, you know, the things that he deals with. And I appreciate his PTSD. We're good. We're in a good place.
There was a word used that's a very charged word for a Black woman. When a word aggressive comes at a Black woman, it's no bueno.
No bueno.
We all learned that. Why were you so sure Shiloh was the one? You were like, she's my wife. Like,
No.
definitive.
We're in the fellas' lounge, right?
Yeah.
And we're asking how we feel about everyone. And then as a guy, I said, I feel like Zadia can be my girl, Sabrina can be my lady, and Carrie can be my wife.
Shiloh.
That's what you meant to say, though. You meant to say.
This is where you say commercial break.
the fellas understood what that meant.
All right, thank you guys so much. Coming up, we're talking to Cornelius about his many connections. Just kidding, Camille, I know. More of the reunion after this. Welcome back to the reunion special. Are you guys watching the show every week together?
Well, once or twice, yeah.
And how is Camille responding to you with Courtney and the other ladies? How has that been?
Conversation.
I mean, it's definitely a conversation that you have to have. But I feel like, you know, it doesn't take me all day to know what I want. And so from the first day when I saw Camille walk through the door, I was like, thank you.
He did admit to liking Camille early, right?
She was chasing me, I was chasing her as well.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful. Courtney was the other woman in this scenario who got a little close to Cornelius. You tried, at least.
I don't regret anything. I think for me, it was just a little bit different because I don't feel like Camille really stopped me from getting to know Cornelius. I know for other women, it was probably a turnoff. If I want somebody, I'm gonna go after them. I did feel like Camille was aggressive in her approach towards other women because, you know, I just felt like at times it was just too much. I will say that. I felt we're all here on the same level trying to get to know people on the same pace. For her being aggressive like that, it almost came across as a bully. And
now, I said the ladies decided you weren't ready to love. Have you guys changed your mind on that?
It's about going through the process and the journey. It was not about him not finding the one he thought that he was interested in and locked in on that. That's not the point. The point is when you become aggressive in the process and block other people from getting a chance to know him. The point is when you start making threats to people, open threats, whether you're saying you're doing it as an antic or not, that's the problem. The problem becomes when other people feel like, damn, is he approachable? I can't even approach him to see if I can. And I'm not saying that I wanted to shoot my shot. On the first day when me and him did try to talk, day one, whether she was doing it jokingly or not, I couldn't even get a word in with him. And that was not just me. No matter how much you say, oh, it's editing and stuff. It is. We were in the process. Okay. We went through the process. It's consistent.
I still feel like he has regrets.
You say you feel like I have regret?
I feel like you were kind of pressured into this situation that you're in right now.
I didn't feel that way. I mean, the thing is, I felt like, you know, I know what I want. I know who I am. So I asked about faith, about what your beliefs are. That's very important to me.
Am I bugging?
No.
Aisha, did I not text you and said, let's address the tension? Because at the end of the day, you would have received an apology if you felt that way.
So
if you felt a certain type of way.
I don't need you to apologize for anything to me. I'm just talking about my experience.
Okay.
So
you had a past for some reason that other women didn't.
No, there was no past.
The Brown Girls Club. I think that was the past.
Aisha's not brown enough. I'm actually too light. Yeah.
Is that
those
what
comments.
This is?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Because you did say that there was this brown girl club.
Yes.
The brown
Which
girl
I gotta
squad.
say, as a brown girl, that made me really sad.
Exactly.
Why did you feel the need to separate yourselves in the Brown Girl Club?
Okay,
Why was
so
that necessary?
What we're not gonna do is we're not gonna say we separate ourselves in a Brown Girl squad.
But y'all did that the whole time. But y'all did that the whole time.
You guys have a We're not gonna
You do foul to us, and you act like you innocent. You don't take accountability.
No one can speak to our friendship. I didn't know anyone the first night I was there. I was not trying to grow in friendship with women during this process. And we took a photo at the third deliberation
we saw the picture and we were like, oh my God, hey melanin, like skin popping. And I yelled out, Brown Girl Squad, it's not to disclude anybody.
But it does, though.
No, it does not, because first of all, we're all brown.
Can Sabrina be a part of the Brown Girl Squad?
Did you just hear Sabrina curse me out?
Sydney,
Bitch, you ain't been trying to be my friend the whole time.
Sabrina.
Now I just cursed because you've been treating me like trash. You're nasty.
So what is that about?
You're a bully.
Oh,
Don't walk away now. You had so much to say before.
Come back. So we can get some clarity.
When I can talk, I'll come back. We don't need to see her. She could go.
Sadia, please come back.
You mean and you nasty.
This is my segment.
Welcome back to the Ready to Love DC reunion special. Frank's journey to find love eventually led him to a fork in the road, Moomin down one path and Sidney down the other. But his internal GPS ultimately chose Moomin. That is so beautiful. So Moomin, how has it been going since you guys pledged your love for each other on that boardwalk?
Be honest.
Oh. Moomin?
It hasn't gone anywhere. Nothing happened after that day.
Okay.
I know you're looking for me to say more. I don't have anything.
Like you're going out?
We're not going out.
Frank.
We're not going out currently.
Frank.
Yes. I still genuinely and passionately care for this woman. I respect her in so many different ways. When the cameras were finally off of us, I needed to regroup and get back to myself. Of course, I still wanted her to be a part of that. I also realized that this process had taken a toll on me. The one thing that I've always been very guarded and like kind of keep lock and key is my love relationships, because I've been hurt. I think that I pulled back because there were things about our relationship that didn't add up to me as what I've always pictured.
You seemed very together throughout this process, making very logical decisions.
Right.
You thought about a friend of yours.
There was a point in time where I felt that we were getting too close too fast.
Okay, wait.
I felt like we were too close too soon. Life expectations, you know, what your future looked like, what my future looked like, what kids look like. To me, I'm sorry that it's coming out this way, but me and you.
I actually don't mind it coming out. What I don't care for is you saying things like it was moving too fast or that it was becoming too much, because it was nothing.
I just felt like some of our...
You initiated all
I know,
the
because I
affection,
still
so you're an
feel...
affectionate person,
Exactly.
so that's what I mean. So when I respond back, then it's like too much. Do you see how that doesn't make sense?
I do.
Okay. I trusted that everything every other woman on the show thought about you may not be true. All we have in this life is our word, and you have not kept your word. You gotta be careful with people. You keep talking about the fact that you've been hurt before. You're not the only person
I'm
that's
not
been hurt.
saying otherwise.
You cannot come in here playing with people's emotion. And I'm not saying that was your intent.
Thank you.
So we're not, we're not calling it
I
intent.
did.
We're not calling it intent,
Yeah.
but you have to be able to identify your mishaps as a person, because now it affected somebody else.
Hopefully, this process has brought you both closer to finding your forever love. Up next, the singles took the drama on the road with a countryside retreat that nearly turned into an all-out war. While everyone was busy building connections this season, it appears a few folks were also interested in building a little drama.
We're talking about our bottoms and our tops.
We're not calling Cornelius' name again.
Y'all all gonna get it. Y'all call his name again.
I'm not gonna invite y'all to the wedding if y'all vote him at the bottom.
Who's to say he won't get voted off the island because he's not giving any?
Y'all up.
Well, I'm not
Come here.
But I took your connection.
You said that Aisha had no connections, but she clearly did.
There's context to everything. I think 8 out of the 9 men chose Zadia as their #1 choice in the first deliberation. That's the elephant in the room. That's an important fact.
How would the ladies know?
How is that an important? Because we're talking about the retreat.
How would we know that?
How would we know? We're not in the men's lounge.
The bottom line is that we're in a competition, and you have 8 out of the 9 men that picked the same one girl, and then later, all these women also have a problem with that same one girl.
Oh,
I feel like there's a correlation. That happened.
Well, but it's not a.
All
These women aren't
deserve
privy
each
to
other.
that. It's not
Those
a
women know
competition.
what the guys that they're dating now picked.
But
Everybody
now
knows.
Everybody was talking.
Everybody knows who picked who. Everybody knows who said what in deliberation.
This isn't about love. This is about disrespect. I liked Zadia at first.
It sounds like
The
people
thing
here are
is-
really thirsting for friends and not love.
Nobody is someone's friend. I don't have to be her friend, but
That's
you
what
need
she
to
feels
be
about you. She
respectful.
doesn't have to
Could one of y'all men check him?
Right.
Excuse me?
God damn. Y'all need to check him. Give him a piece.
Seriously.
My God.
He needs the mic.
Did I bring your name up?
Okay, you said Aisha had no connections. What did you mean by that? Because that was obviously not true. She had lots of connections.
Right, but at that point, there was nothing that was locked in like Cornelius and Camille. She attacked Cornelius and Camille and not anyone else that had sent her down.
Is any of this sort of a fire?
Absolutely not.
About their
Absolutely
connection?
not.
Camille said, all I know is if anybody put my man in the bottom, I'm y'all up.
What?
That's exactly what she
Are you saying they recreated your voice?
Yeah, to play that back. I didn't see that. I didn't hear that.
Can we play that
Citizens,
back?
play that
We're
back.
gonna play it back, and let's all be really quiet.
Y'all up.
Well, I'm not
It's
I went
called
like
ready
this.
to love, not confused.
I went like
You guys hear that?
Yes.
I hear it now. I didn't hear it when I was there.
You guys can stop playback. Thank you so much.
Remember?
What conversation was that? Was I not talking to her? They do edit.
Say I if you heard Camille say, I'll y'all up.
I.
This is ghetto.
Yes, it is.
I'm not dealing with this. It's just like everybody's grown. Y'all over 30, arguing, bickering. It's just so ghetto.
It's giving ratchet because we calling people out on actions.
This is not what I came here for. I got things to do. My mother is in the hospital. I don't have time to be sitting here. He say, she say all day. Everybody should be embarrassed. Half of y'all over 40.